So we just had the Hunter Power Pack come out, so today we're going to be doing a remake of the top 10 best guns to use in the Hunter Call of the Wild in 2023. Now these are going to be my most used top 10 weapons. We're going to shoot every single one of them and rank them. Let's head right into it. Coming in at number 10 on our list of top 10 best guns to use in Call of the Wild is the Ranger 243. Now the Ranger 243 is a non-DLC weapon. It comes with the base game. Now the 243 is a class 2 to 6 rifle. Now we don't have a lot of options for the lower classed animals, but the 243 just keeps getting used in game simply because it does not have a lot of competition and it really does do the job. So right now we are out here in the New England mountains and we do have some raccoons drinking. Now on a map like this where there are a lot of small creatures, we have raccoons, we have red fox, gray fox, the 243 is going to get used quite a lot. It zeroes in at 75, 150, and 300 meters, so it has lots of range. Now I know a lot of people have been asking for a smaller classed rifle to be added to Call of the Wild, something like a 17 HMR. What weapons would you guys like to see added to the game? I would love to know. And let me know in the comments, guys, what your top 3 favorite guns are in Call of the Wild. And splat, and down he goes. So the 243 has 5 shots. One thing I do want to mention about the 243, guys, is the soft points are free in game, but you are just so much better off spending the money and getting the polymer tips. You're gonna get way better penetration, and I do highly recommend spending the money on the polymer tips. They're just gonna perform way better for you. Alrighty, so here is our coon. Beautiful vital shot there, and we absolutely smoked him. 154.35 meter shot, and the 243 just did an absolutely perfect job destroying this raccoon. It weighs 3.5 kilograms, and here are its stats. Now when we have a look at the ammo, so here we have the 243 polymer tips. Now these have a penetration of 30 and an expansion of 4. Then when we compare them to the 243 soft points, they only have a penetration of 15 with a larger expansion of 17, but with the polymers you can definitely get the job done. Coming in at number 9 on our list of top 10 best guns in Call of the Wild is the Tsurugi 338 bolt action rifle. Now, the new 338 bolt action just came out not very long ago in the Hunter Power Pack. It was a very sought after rifle, but unfortunately, it doesn't pack the punch we were all hoping for. It is a very strong rifle, but it could be a little bit stronger, and that's why I have it towards the bottom of today's list. I would say it's probably equally as powerful as the 300. Once I take the shot, you will see the reload animation of the bolt actions, and it just is not as easy with any of the bolt actions to take follow-up shots. The recoil is just not as smooth as other rifles. But the 338 bolt action is actually pretty great for things like lions. Not too bad on Cape Buffalo, but it is just not the greatest for moose. See that little jumpy jump there? That's what I don't like about it. That. It's just the speed to line up a second shot when you're using a bolt action is a little bit slower because of the reload animation. It's interesting to note that the Tsurugi 338 actually weighs 5 kilograms. It weighs 1 kilogram more than the 300 does. It does have 1 shot more than the 300. It has 5 shots, whereas the 300 only has 4. But the 300 has much smoother recoil. And for farming moose, I will be reaching for the 300 myself. I do prefer the 300. Now I am using polymers, so we are getting the best penetration, but when we pick up this lion, you will see that the 338 doesn't have the best penetration. So maybe it'll get buffed down the line. I hope it will. We just don't know. On a lion, it's actually not too bad. Now, we did have an angle there, but we did manage to get through the lung and to the liver, so that wasn't terrible. So that's the 338 on a lion. So for lions, I think it's great, but for moose, not so much. Let's actually quickly shoot a moose. Okay, so just to compare, this is the 300 Canning Magnum. Our moose is starting to drop. Okay, so yes, we got single lung. He ran quite a distance, and that is the 300, but the recoil is just so much smoother with the 300, I find. Now, this is the 338 bolt action on moose. Waiting for him to drop. There we go. So I'm sure that was a single lung. Okay, so guys, look at the 338 penetration. It barely got into that lung from 173 meters. That's the 338 bolt action. So you can see that the 300 definitely is better on Moose than the 338 bolt action, and there it is. Once you purchase the Hunter Power Pack, all of the rifles in this pack are free. You do have to go into the store and purchase them for $0. Now let's have a look at the ammo. Okay, so here we have the 338 polymer tip bullets. The 338 is good for classes 7 to 9, and with the polymers, we have a penetration of 45 and an expansion of 16, so lots of penetration. And then with the soft points, the penetration goes down to only 22, and the expansion goes way up to 68, so I stick with the polymers. My favorite 7 to 9 rifle will always be the 300 until such time that the 338 gets a buff, if it does. Coming in at number 8 on our list of top 10 best guns in Call of the Wild is the Hudkiz 50 Caplock Muzzleloader. Now the muzzleloader comes in the Smoke and Barrels pack. It has one shot and then it is going to leave you in a pile of smoke, but it is a lot of fun to use. Between the two ammos you can get from class 3 all the way up to class 8. It has this really awesome scope and it packs a punch. It has about a 1.5 year reload speed. It takes a long time to reload, but if you do need a follow-up shot, what I would recommend doing is cycling over to your next weapon, take that follow-up shot, and reload the muzzleloader after. Now, I'm actually going to stay up here in my tripod until the animation is done, or I will have to start all over again, and it is still doing it. Okay, that's how long it took. And there we go. So, ooh, I was a little far back on that shot, but it was a good shot, and it absolutely destroyed this whitetail buck. The muzzleloader is a lot of fun to use. Not super practical, but super fun. Once you purchase the Smoke and Barrels weapon pack, it is $0 to purchase, and as mentioned before, it just has the one very impactful shot, and it does weigh 4 kilograms. So, when looking at the ammo for the muzzleloader, we have the 50 caliber mini balls, which are good for classes 4 to 8. These have a penetration of 40 and an expansion of 30. Then with the 50 caliber round balls, these have a recommended class of 3 to 7 and a penetration of 30 and an expansion of 30. So between both of the ammos, you can hunt classes 3 all the way up through 8 with the muzzleloader, and it is a lot of fun to use. Coming in at number 7 on our list of top 10 best guns in Call of the Wild is the Cacciatore 12 gauge shotgun. Now, I use the Cacciatore all the time. I love having 6 shots in it. Now, with the Cacciatore, between the 3 different ammos, birdshot, buckshot, and slugs, you can get from class 1 all the way up to class 8. You can use it with or without a scope. I actually find it sometimes easier to use with a scope because ducks are so very tiny. Now, the shotgun scope you do have to unlock, and the Cacciatore is non-DLC, so you just have to unlock it and you can go ahead and use it all you'd like. I think we got 2 there, but having 6 shots is just so perfect when you are duck hunting, and all it takes is 1 pellet to take that duck down. That was a 32.07 meter shot, and that is 1 dead duck. Okay. Splat. See, it's just... Oh, I got him! It's so nice to have 6 shots. We got 3 there, and I still have 1 shot left. That duck will go down, and there he goes. Mayday! And splat. Now, if I had to reload there, I never would have got that one. And so it is 48,000 in-game dollars, and you will have to unlock it as a new player by leveling up your shotgun score. Now, it does have 6 rounds, which is what I love the most about it. It's not necessarily the absolute best shotgun in the game, but for me, it is my favorite. It's completely accessible by being non-DLC and with 6 shots. The more shots, the better as far as I'm concerned when using a shotgun, and it really does a great job. It weighs 3.5 kilograms, so it's not too heavy. There are 3 ammos for the Cacciatore 12 gauge, which are the 12 gauge birdshot, which is good for class 1. Then we have the 12 gauge buckshot. Buckshot is good for classes 2 to 5. And then we do have the 12 gauge slugs, which are good for classes 4 to 8. So with the Cacciatore, you can hunt anything from class 1 all the way up to class 8, just not those class 9 species. Coming in at number 6 on our list of top 10 best guns in Called Wild is the Cuomo 243 pistol. This baby right here. Now the 243 pistol comes in the assorted sidearms DLC. It only weighs 1 kilogram, so it fits so well into any loadout, and it is good for classes 2 to 6. Now it only has 1 shot, so you better take your shot carefully, because then you will have to take the time to reload. But here in Aurora, where there are quite a few class 3 animals, the 243 pistol is pretty darn handy. It zeroes in at 50, 100, and 200 meters. So let's take down this feral goat here. Now that looked good. It was good. We got him. It will take a moment for them to start dropping in health because it is the 243, which is not a super powerful weapon, but it definitely does the trick. And I think it's just the fact that this handgun weighs 1 kilogram just makes it a very popular addition to all kinds of different loadouts. And you can put any scope on it. I am actually using the Hyperion on it right now, so you don't have to have the handgun scope. Okay, we got a double lung there with the 243 Cuomo. Holy, 185 meters, and that is with the polymers. So who says the 243 doesn't pack a punch? It comes for free once you purchase the sidearms DLC. It only weighs 1 kilogram, which honestly is the biggest factor in how popular it is. It literally fits into any loadout. You barely notice it being 1 kilogram. Now it only does have the 1 shot, so you definitely need to make it count, but it really is a very handy weapon to carry around on just about every map. And again, I would highly recommend using the polymers over the soft points. Coming in at number 5 on our list of top 10 best guns in Called Wild is the Rhino 454 handgun. Now this gun is super powerful. The Rhino is good for classes 4 all the way up to 9. It is a non-DLC handgun, and it is the most powerful handgun in the entire game. Now the Sunberg actually comes for free in the store. It was a gift from EW to celebrate 5 years. So it zeroes in at 25, 50, and 75 meters max. And it is amazing as a defensive weapon. It seems a little on the OP side, way overpowered to be shooting whitetail with and things like that, but you do get integrity. When you're getting attacked by one of these babies, the Rhino is not gonna steer you wrong. What was that? What are you doing? Okay, so now we're getting attacked, so I popped the scope off. The one bad thing about the Rhino is that it does take quite a long time to reload. It actually empties, if you have any shots left, it empties all the bullets out and then reloads all 5 shots. But when you're getting attacked, the Rhino is absolutely fantastic. And splat! Beautiful! It has pretty crazy penetration, and I'm talking crazy. That was a little on the high side, but we did get the shot. Now, I know that was only a 4-meter shot, but it just about went right through and out the other side. It's just super powerful. So that was a 62-meter shot, and we did get double lung with the Rhino. That was a beauty shot. Very sweet. We also have the Sunberg 454, which is probably the one most people are going to use because it is completely free. Free is free, baby. That's sweet. So again, it is non-DLC. It only weighs 2 kilograms, so it fits nicely into most loadouts. And man, is the 454 a powerful handgun. For the ammo, we have the 454 flat nose hard cast bullets, which have an insane penetration of 100 and an expansion of 23. Then we have the 454 jacketed hollow point bullets, which only have a penetration of 25 and 100 for expansion. So I always use the flat nose hard cast bullets because with a penetration of 100, this is one of the most powerful weapons in the game, guys, and it is super versatile. So this is a great weapon for a new player who doesn't have access to a weapon to shoot class 9 species, because basically it now comes with the base game. Now you will have to unlock the scope if you want to use the scope, and you will have to unlock the flat nose hard cast bullets, but it is definitely worth it. Coming in at number 4 on our list of top 10 best guns in Called Wild is the Virant 22 LR. Now the Virant 22 comes in weapon pack 1, and I kind of feel like this gun is absolutely essential to pretty much every loadout, every map in the game. I carry this weapon everywhere. It's only good for class 1 species, but for all ducks, bunnies, anything that flies, the 22 has 10 shots, so it is superior to the Zarza 22, 22, which only has 5 shots, it actually zeroes up to 150 meters. So it's great once you've taken all your shotgun shots and the ducks get too far, you want to pull out that Virant 22 and continue shooting. Also perfect for turkeys. It is nice and quiet, and you will want 10 shots when you're shooting ducks out of the sky because it is not easy. Especially since the rework to the waterfowl system. They are just gonna zig and zag on you. You're gonna need all 10 shots. Now we are using the 22 truncated bullets, which did get a buff with the last update and are now working amazingly well. And I just absolutely love the 22 LR. Take it with me everywhere. You can purchase it from the store for $0 once you purchase Weapon Pack 1. Now it has 10 shots, which makes it so much better, so much more appealing than the Zarza 22, which only has 5 rounds. When you're shooting those ducks out of the sky, every single round is going to count, and time is of the essence, so you don't want to be wasting time reloading, and that's when your 10 shots is going to come in very, very handy. It only weighs 2.5 kilograms. I carry the Virant 22 to every single map in the game, I'm pretty sure, now that every map has been backfilled, and it just does an amazing job. So we have 2 ammos for the 22 now. We have the 22 LR jacketed hollow point bullets, which have a penetration of 5 and an expansion of 10. And then we do have the newly buffed 22 LR truncated cone bullets, which have way more penetration, 17, and only 1 for expansion. These work so much better since the last update, guys. I would recommend using the truncated cone bullets when using the Virant 22. Coming in at number 3 on our list of top 10 best guns in Call of the Wild, I've actually made it a 4-way tie. These are, in my opinion, the best 4-8 rifles in the game. We have the M1, the Eckers 30-06, FL Sporter 303, and last but not least, the Zarza 308. Now, the reason I don't have the 308 bolt action in there is because I find it not very smooth with the recoil because of that bolt action reload. I don't like it for farming. We're gonna actually compare all 4 of these. So this here is the FL Sporter 303. So we're gonna test them all on whitetail. Here we go. So I am using polymers for all of these. Now the 303 comes with the T Aurora DLC. You can get it for free from doing the missions, or you can just purchase it. Beautiful. I absolutely love the 303. All of them are good for classes 4 to 8, and honestly, all of them will do an amazing job on any whitetail grind. You just can't go wrong with any of them. They aren't that different from each other, if I'm being very honest. They're very, very similar weapons, and it's very hard to say which is better than the other. So we managed a double lung shot with an angle from 211 meters, so that's the 303 with the polymers, and another double lung. It is $40,000 to purchase. Now, any weapons that come with DLC maps you do have to pay for, but you can get it through doing the missions in T Aurora, so you can get it for free, so that's very handy. And I love the 303. It weighs 3.5 kilograms, it carries 5 shots, and it is definitely one of the best 4 to 8 rifles in the game. With the polymer tips, it has a penetration of 40 and an expansion of 12, and the soft points have a penetration of only 20 and an expansion of 53. And yes, I know you can see a pattern emerging here. We are going to stick with the polymer tips. They're just going to do a way better job. Now, if you guys have any instances where you way prefer the soft points, let me know when you like to use them in the comments. I would love to know. Okay, so now we're going to test out the M1 Iwaneac. Now, the M1 comes in the Smoke and Barrels pack. It is good for classes 4 to 8. It is well known for its ping when you shoot the last shot, which I will show you in just a second. Beautiful. So here's the last shot. And there's that beautiful sound. But the M1 is still an amazing farming rifle. I actually shot over 7,000 whitetail with it in Rancho and Layton, and it definitely did not steer me wrong. So we got a single lung there, probably because of the angle, but the M1 is definitely amazing for doing any grind. Great for anything class 4 to 8. It does use the 30-06 ammo. Here we have the polymer tips, which have a penetration of 45 and an expansion of 13. The soft points only have a penetration of 19 and an expansion of 53, so the polymer tips are what you're looking for. So now we have the Eckers 30-06, which comes in Weapon Pack 3. Now, what I love about the 30-06 is the amazing sound that it makes. That one might be hard to get. So this is it here. Love that sound. And they aren't holy, not spooking. We'll take another one. Beautiful. Now it only has 4 shots and it does weigh 1 kilogram more than all of the other 4 to 8s that I have tied it with. So that kind of puts it a little bit below the other rifles because, I mean, 1 kilogram can make a big difference in your loadout. But because it is definitely an older rifle now, it's been in the game for quite a long time, I don't think it gets used quite as much as it used to because we have so many weapons in the game now. But the 30-06 is still an amazing 4 to 8 rifle. So it broke through the scapula there and went into the left lung, and we got a vital there from 201 meters and a double lung there with a perfectly broadside shot. Look at the penetration on that shot. So 30-06 is also another amazing farming rifle. It is completely free once you do purchase weapon pack 3. It weighs 4.5 kilograms, so it actually is heavier than most of the other 4 to 8 rifles. And it does use the 30-06 ammo, which we have already shown with the M1. Now look at that beauty. Oh my gosh, that is a big boy. So now we are going to be using the Zarza 308, and I think the Zarza 308 is my favorite 4 to 8 rifle. It is what I have been using to farm whitetail, and it has been absolutely fantastic. It's a little bit quieter than the other rifles, but the recoil is nice and smooth, definitely a lot smoother than the 308 bolt action. Beautiful. And I missed on the second shot. Okay, here is our big boy. How you doing, my dude? Oh, you are very pretty. And we do have a big old diamond, 270.74. And we did manage a double long shot from 201 meters. And that is the 308 with the polymer tips. It just really is personal preference. I do like the Zarza 308 the best out of all of these. That's just my opinion. But I honestly do think they're all going to do a fantastic job on anything that is class 4 to 8. This is my favorite 4 to 8 rifle. I find it has the smoothest recoil when farming animals, when trying to shoot more than one animal. It does weigh 3.5 kilograms. It's a little bit quieter than other weapons, but for me, this is the one that stands out against the rest. So here we have the polymer tips, which have a penetration of 44 and an expansion of 13. And we do have the soft points, only 19 for penetration and a whopping 52 for expansion. I always use the polymer tips when using the 308, and this is my main farming rifle. I love the Zarza 308. Coming in at number 2 on our list of top 10 best guns in Call of the Wild is the Malmer 7mm bolt action. Now the reason I have the 7mm bolt at number 2 is simply because it is probably the most versatile weapon in the game. The 7mm bolt action is good for classes 4 all the way up through 9, and that just sets it above the rest. It's not going to be as powerful as the 300, but man, the versatility is crazy. Oh, and splat splat. Beautiful. Now, when you're lining up your second shot, you're gonna have that little bit of a jolt with the reload animation, but that is definitely something we can live with because of the insane versatility of the 7mm, and it is powerful. So a lot of maps you can literally go to now with the 7mm bolt action, the 243, and the Virant 22, and you literally need nothing else. Oh, I got spine there. I got spine, but I think I got right lung too, so that was a good shot, and it's hard to tell on that shot. Let's look at the next one. So Gemsbok are pretty big animals, and we did get a double long shot with the 7mm bolt from over 200 meters. So that is pretty sweet penetration. This is probably going to be one of the most popular weapons in the game for a very long time. So once you purchase the Hunter Power Pack, it is free in the store. So here is the 7mm polymer tips. They have a penetration of 40 and an expansion of 12, whereas the soft points only have a penetration of 20 and an expansion of 53. The 7mm polymers is what you want most of the time. Coming in at number 1 on our list of top 10 best guns in Call of the Wild is the 300 Canning Magnum. Now the 300 has always been my absolute favorite rifle in the game. It is good for classes 7 to 9, and even with the new 338 bolt action just being released, it still is the best moose rifle in the game. This is the rifle I'm going to be pulling for when I am hunting anything class 7 to 9. It just has way smoother recoil than the 338 bolt action. It pretty much has the same penetration. Actually, it might be a little bit better. Let's test it out right here. So it comes with the Yukon Valley DLC, and it is 75,000 in-game dollars, but it is worth every single penny. And now taking 2 moose is not difficult at all. It just feels like power in your hands. It has 4 shots, it zeroes in all the way up to 300 meters, so we did get a single lung there. Still not a huge amount of penetration. It's like moose or tanks or something, but it definitely did the job, and just the recoil alone sets the 300 above the bolt action 338. I just love the 300. Love it. It weighs 4 kilograms. So here we have the 300 Magnum polymer tips. They have a penetration of 42, an expansion of 14, but with the soft points, you're getting way less penetration, 21, and an expansion of 60. So I always run with the polymer tips, and the 300 is just a powerhouse. So for me, guys, the 300 is still the king, but every single weapon on our countdown today is amazing. None of them will steer you wrong. Click right here to learn more about weapons. This is the weapon playlist. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to leave a like and a comment, and we will definitely see you guys in the next one.